Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the stream. We have another artisan, a casual artisan call. Let me bring on my buddy Christoph here. Hey, Christoph.
Here, I'm sorry. I just noticed this one of my lights is not turning on
I,
because I was rearranging some of my cable management of the table
uh-huh.
because I'm not sure if you've seen it, but I now have two HomePod minis.
Oh,
And for that, I had to change a lot of the cable management. And now I just realized that one of the lights is off. But yeah, I think it will work for the stream. So
yeah, it's okay. It's okay. You're not looking like that Batman villain double face, where you have like two
yeah.
two faces. It's not like that, so it's good. Yeah. So you bought two HomePods Mini.
Yeah, so to be fair, I got one as a present from my wife for
Mm-hmm.
Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been thinking about the whole sound situation on my desk is like a mess for years.
Mm-hmm.
So since I moved in here, and I think even before, I think the last audio devices I had was some LG Set 4, so the Commons one, which you bought like 10 years ago with the two speakers and then the big
Yeah.
subwoofer. So, and I think I sold it, yeah, 5, 6, 7 years ago. And since then, I couldn't decide what I want to do with the sound management on my desk. And yeah, I couldn't decide. So the last years I didn't had any. So this means when I heard music, it was maybe through the AirPods or just through the volume of the monitor or my MacBook. So it was really awful. But yeah, we tend to get used to those things. And now I
Mm-hmm.
neglected the whole situation and I couldn't decide. So I'm very happy that my wife decided this now for me and bought me one for Christmas. And yesterday I got now a second one so that I can use them in stereo.
And how's the sound compared to those LGs?
Oh, I can't remember what the LG sounds back then, but compared to my monitor, it sounds really good.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine. Christoph,
Yeah,
I couldn't live without having like music in my office. Like if
yeah,
it
I
would
can
be
imagine.
would be away for like a day, it was no, this isn't good. I would go to the shop immediately and buy something.
Yeah, I should have done that too, but yeah. Also the biggest issue which I had was about the cables
Mm-hmm.
because I'm very eager to try to make everything super clean here on my desk. And
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't want to put on two more devices here with two more cables I had to deal with. And mostly it's super hard to hide them.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also couldn't decide, do I put the speakers on the desk itself or do I put them maybe on the wall? But then here I have a moving desk. So on the wall it's also a little bit tricky. And
Yeah.
yeah, so all these little decisions which I just couldn't settle for myself. But yeah, now finally 2022 almost, and I got some sound again on my desk.
And how did you manage the cables then? My guess would be like I have two HomePods as well, and I have them at the edge of my table, so you don't see the cable because they're falling just right behind the
Yeah,
speaker itself down. Did you do something
exactly like
similar?
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I put it at the back of the desk. I'm not. I need to check if because the monitor is now a little bit in front of them, and a little afraid that a lot of the sound quality maybe gets lost because of that. But I need to check that out. But no, at the back of the table, and for all the cable management on my desk, I'm using the. I'm not sure what are the plastic things called where you can plug together some cables.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but I don't know the English name for that as
Let
well.
me check if I can find it. I think it's lace or
Ah,
zip
yeah,
ties or
lace.
cable fixer. Yeah, all the cables are fixed with those things at the bottom of my desk, so that I really try not to see any of the cables at all.
Yeah, it seems that you're very picky about this cable
Yeah,
situation.
I'm I-
Yeah.
I'm super picky. Yeah, I saw your office. I think you tweeted an image. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it wouldn't work for me. No, so
Yeah. I was just going to tell you that yeah, I like to have my cables a little bit on the side, and I think I managed it pretty well. My girlfriend doesn't agree, and also you don't agree. But recently, I've bought some audio equipment, so some synthesizers and some audio effects, which sit next to me here. And I don't know if you know that type of synthesizer. It's a semi-modular, and so you have
Hmm.
all these little cables hanging
Oh,
around,
it's
and
patch cables.
with patch cables, yeah, and there are cables coming from everywhere to connect everything with everything, and so that I can switch up things. And then I just decided, no, I'm not going to care about the cables anymore. On this side of the desk, there can be as much cables as I want, just as long as I know which cable serves what purpose. But if you do like audio things, you can't hide all the cables anymore because
Yeah.
it's just too much, you know.
Yeah, true indeed. And I think we're both from the time where we still remember if you're at a concert or somewhere, there are hundreds of cables you had to set up in order to,
Yeah,
get everything from the musicians. And yeah, those old, what are called mixers? Yeah,
yeah,
where they had so many table and you had a line for every instrument coming in. And yeah,
yeah,
this was really crazy. And yeah, of course, I understand it's much more difficult if you have all those tools.
yeah,
And
indeed.
did you change something else in your room because the background is different?
The background is indeed a little bit different. So at that side, there used to be a desk, but that desk has moved to this side. I don't know if I can show it. So the desk is here
Oh,
with the
oh
audio
yeah,
equipment here.
that's a lot indeed. Wow, cool.
Yeah. So yeah, this is like a synthesizer, and this one produces sound which goes to these guitar effects to modulate it a little bit. I also have
Hmm.
some guitars in the corner that I can use, and I can turn my camera that far away. Yeah, so here is the cable mess. Sorry for that, Christoph. You can scream. No, I can't just put it into picture, but there's like an audio interface somewhere here where all the cables come into my computer. So yeah, that has changed, and yeah, the Falcon is now behind me. So
Oh,
yeah,
nice, beautiful.
did
Yeah,
I did a little bit of room management to make it easier for me to create some music. Yeah.
yeah, that's nice. I think for me, most important, I have to have those things prepared and ready to use, and then I would use it. Like in the back, I had the Engel guitar amplifier. Did you saw the image?
I didn't see it. No.
Okay, I posted it I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I've set it up everything. And yeah, since it was there, I played like 3 or 4 times a day just because it was there, and I could just use my guitar, plug it in, and play, and it was really cool. But if I don't have those things already set up, like with streaming, yeah, if for every stream we have to do like 30 minutes of preparations with lights and sounds and everything, this would be a mess and probably we wouldn't do streaming that much. But now I have my stream deck, I click some buttons, open
Yeah.
the app, and pretty much I'm good to go.
Yeah, it's one of those tips in how's the book called? I think Atomic Habits, where
Yeah,
you
right.
just want to, yeah, change your habits in some way. And one of the tips in there is just what you're describing right now. Prime your environment, so you have to make it easy in your environment to do something. If you want to eat healthy, or eat fruit every day, just put a bowl of fruit in the middle of the room, and you'll just do it because it's easy to do it. And that's just the same thing as you're describing, right?
Yeah, right. Just funny how those small changes have such a big impact.
Yeah.
But yeah, sad story, the amplifier is gone. It was my old one, which I had from my band times. So it was a really big one with 120 watts, and the box which I borrowed from a friend, which was also very big, and it was so cool to play, but it was way overpowered for my office. And yeah, I then decided to sell it.
And are you going to buy like a smaller one, or it's just those days are gone type of situation?
No, I really want to get a new one, but now I have to, yeah, make myself familiar again with the option which are now available because I have like no idea about those things anymore.
Mm.
And yeah, I'm pretty sure it will take quite a lot of time till I
Yeah.
can decide for one. But I definitely want someone here, something here that I can play more on the electric guitar as well.
Yeah, yeah, just for some casual playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was so much fun playing again on the electric guitar with the sound. I just had to bought a little device which drops the power.
Hmm.
So normally, if you have an amplifier like a big one, which is so powerful, you can turn it on just maybe not even to level number one. It's like 0.5, and
Yeah,
then it's already loud enough.
yeah,
But the issue with that is that the power gets to the tubes only if you put up the volume a little bit more.
yeah,
And the
yeah,
more you
yeah.
put it up, the better sound
And the
comes from
war
the
and the
tubes.
and the warmer sound you'll get. Yeah,
Yeah, right.
yeah,
So in order to turn it up more, I had to buy a device which then drops off the whole gain of the amplifier, like 20 to 20% or something.
yeah,
And this way, I could play here in the room with a really good sound, but it wasn't too loud.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Nice. Yeah, I think if you have such an amplifier, it's really made for like in a rehearsal space and not for like
Yeah,
your home. You know.
not at all. I even
Yeah.
remember even on big stages with thousands of people in front of us, I think I only turned it on to like half of what it's capable of. Yeah, and this was already enough.
Yeah, I do have an amplifier, but it is in a rehearsal space, and yeah, you can't turn it quiet. It's like you said, you just have to put it somewhere halfway, and then it's
Yeah,
loud, but then it sounds really, really good. Yeah.
yeah.
And what I do in my home is, yeah, I thought about buying like a small amplifier, but yeah, this room where I'm sitting now, it's next to our living space where my girlfriend and our two boys are mostly behind me. There's like the neighbors, and I thought, yeah, this is very bad if I would put like an amplifier in this space because complaints will be coming from
All
all ways
directions.
here. Yeah. So right now I'm playing just with the line in, just right into the computer and with my headphones. And
Hmm.
I got a couple of effects on the computer in Ableton that simulate a cabinet and an
Hmm.
amplifier, and it's not the same, but it gets pretty close. It's good enough for like recording and for doing in things at home. Now I don't think it would work for you because there are lots of cables involved to make this happen. So I think an
Yeah.
amplifier would be better for you.
Yeah, been there, and I've also seen and heard from friends who just plug it into the computer, and it's amazing what you can do with those effects these days, and it
Yeah,
sounds really good. But yeah, as you mentioned, I then need to have some kind of interface here again, and then I need to have the cables here. I'm not sure if it's going to work for me. And I
yeah,
also thought to myself that I want to have something away from the computer
yeah.
so that I can do something away from it because I'm sitting quite a lot in front of it. And
Hmm.
if I have something here in the back and just could chill here for some minutes and play there, I think it would be better. But
Yeah,
let's see if I find something which I like.
yeah. Yeah, what you said, like it's again behind the computer. I feel that sometimes too. Like these are my two biggest things that I do, programming and music,
Yeah.
and it's all behind the computer. And yeah, I think there have been days where like, yeah, I said too much behind the computer, but I was doing different things, so I
Yeah.
didn't mind. But still, in the end, maybe it's a little bit too much. I my girlfriend says that too. Like, "Hey, you're again behind the computer." Yeah, but I'm doing something completely else. You know.
Yeah.
I also with programming. Oh, you program again? You shouldn't work in the evening, but it isn't work. I'm pretty sure we all had this conversation
Yeah.
at some point.
Yeah, we all have that. And yeah, we're just passionate about computers, I guess, in general. I think that's also one of the reasons we are developers, I guess.
Hmm.
And yeah, so there are many things you can do in a computer that probably, um, yeah, that we like, that we enjoy. And yeah, for
Yeah.
me, it's too. Sometimes I think about, okay, so what are the things that I like beside being in front of a computer, and sometimes it's difficult to tell. But yeah, then of course when you have holidays, when we go out, when we do some sports or something, then
Yeah.
it's different. But of course there are days and weeks where I sit most of the days just in front of the computer, and yeah.
Now, if I take a look at what you do not behind the computer, Christophe, then yeah, I saw in your New Year's post or your
Hmm.
review post that you wanted to like a special boulder route, a 7A route. What is a 7A route? Is that something really difficult or something?
Yeah, so in bouldering, by the way, I have already published it on my blog, but I haven't posted about it yet because I wanted to maybe take another look over. And sometimes if I'm not fast enough with checking something, I just publish it just to give me a pressure to take a look because then it's out and then people will see it. But it seems it didn't work this way because I forgot about it. But
And,
I think it's almost done, so everybody can check if they want.
so I can share the link in the chat so people
Yeah, yeah,
can
you
read
can.
it.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah,
Here we
yeah.
go.
Yes, in bouldering you have like grades for the routes. So you have a start and a beginning for every route, and in between you have some different kind of holds. And there are different grades depending on where you are. I think there is something in France which is different, and something in the US which is different. But here where we live, you have numbers from, I think it start at 3, and
Hmm.
it goes up till the bouldering till 8. Yeah, I think till 8. There are also 9s, but I think you only have them outside on the real walks. But mostly in the gyms where I've been, there are 3 to 8, and 8 you mostly also don't have. So maybe there are 1 or 2 because they're super super difficult. And then also you have some kind of subgrades. So you have 7A, for example, 7B, 7C,
Yeah.
and then sometimes also a 7C plus. So from 7 to 8, there are still also many grades in between. And mostly I climb, what I can do is like 6B, 6C. So
Yeah.
these are the more advanced ones, which I normally could do if I try them a few times or maybe 1 or 2 sessions. And 7A is like, yeah, a big step. And I think last year, was it last year? Yeah, last year, at the end of last year, I did my first 7A, and I worked like weeks on the same route, yeah, just to finish this one. And it was super exhausting, but also super cool. And yeah, last year I had then the goal to do this year a second one. And yeah, because of COVID and the gym was closed so many times, yeah, I
Mm.
wasn't able to train. And that's why I now have a new goal for next year to
Yeah.
send another 7A route. Yeah.
And what makes a route difficult? If you say like a route 9, what I imagine in my head is that you need to be some kind of Spider-Man because you need to go upside down almost, and we almost give you no points to hold, so you have to be really stretchy. Is it like
Yeah.
that? Is that what makes a route difficult?
Yeah, there are like there's so many things that can make a route difficult. First, for example, you have the holds where you grab and where you stand,
Mm-hmm.
and they could be like big ones.
Mm-hmm.
They could be also super small.
Okay.
So if you have only a route with super small, as like really tiny
Yeah.
little holds, then it's of course much more difficult than big ones.
Yeah.
But then also you have really big ones, and they are also not easy to hold because you can't just grab them. You just lay your hand above them, and somehow you need to hold on the hold like this, and then they are also super difficult.
Yeah.
So this means there are holes on the one side. Then, like you said, like what the wall is it just going up, or are you like below the wall?
Yeah.
And then you have to do like upside down something stuff like this. Then this could be also super difficult. And then also how many holes you have for your feet to stand on. This is also something. So
Yeah.
there are so many different things, and one person likes tiny holes, and the other person likes doing more these kind of routes, and the other one. So it's very different for every person as well.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's super impressive people who can do that. Yeah, I was with my son again to his bouldering
Hmm.
class. He now dares to go up all the way, like I don't know, 12 meters above.
Oh wow.
something like that. He overcome his fear. He now knows that daddy has him if something happens. But yeah, next to him there are a couple of grown-ups that have been bouldering, I think, for many years because they seem to climb up with such ease and then yeah, hanging a little bit. Yeah, in at an angle, and it's really impressive to see people just climbing up there. It's
Yeah,
cool.
it's very interesting because it's a sport where you see a lot of older people as well performing really good, but also very young people like children are super good at climbing because the comparison to the strength and their weight and they don't have fear. So if a kid is training like maybe 1 or 2 years, he's for sure already much better than me, and
Yeah.
it's crazy and all sometimes a little bit disappointing if there are small ones next to you just crushing routes, and you're like, oh my god, how are they doing this? And also between women and male, the difference also isn't that big because in some sports you have a bigger difference, and then often it's also more difficult to maybe go with your wife because sometimes for yeah, if you play soccer or something like this, it could be more difficult. But in climbing, it's very equal how good you are, and it doesn't depend too much on other things. So I think it's a really interesting sport.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I guess for children, there's like this age where they're, yeah, like you said, they have no fear, but they already have muscle, but they have not too much body weight that they
Yeah,
need to pull up. So yeah, they have a little bit of an advantage at a certain age, I guess.
yeah, for sure. But it's cool that your son, are both of your son
No,
going there or just one?
no, only one. Yeah, only one. The
And is it
other,
the younger or the older one?
it's the younger one. Yeah,
Younger one, yeah.
yeah. So the smallest one wants to go up.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
funny. I think you often see this with the younger kids are more eager to do
to do.
stuff like that
Yeah,
or overdoing the elder ones.
yeah. The elder one does basketball, which is
Nice.
also pretty nice. A little bit less adventurous. And he did that because some people at his school and at his class were also doing that. So he saw that his friends were doing it. So yeah, I want to tag along, and he very much enjoys that. But with our youngest one, that really came out of itself. He doesn't know anybody who does bouldering. I think he saw it somewhere, like, hey, people are climbing up. I want to do that too. So we looked it up, and yeah, that's what he does now.
That's
Yeah,
cool, yeah.
yeah. There's yeah, I told you this last time. We have something in our living room. I think I told you last time
Yeah.
where we can hang, and so we still do those kind of sessions.
I,
And with Christmas, like a couple of family members came over, and we each hang at a bar. And he was so proud because he could hang the longest.
the longest.
Yeah,
Oh, I still have the image in my head of your living room, like this huge place with a kind of little river going through the living space and a huge bridge going from one side to the other one, and then in between, you and your kids are hanging on the bridge.
it's not like that. We don't have a river yet. Uh, I'll send you a picture so you can see. Yeah, you can have an idea of how it looks like. There is also here. Yeah, I'm scrolling through your post since I had
Hmm.
it open here. A picture here of us at the Larcation. Man,
Yeah,
that was one of the highlights of my year. Definitely.
yeah, right.
Yeah, just alone traveling abroad is already fun, but then
Yeah.
also the journey, and yeah, with you and the rest, it was, yeah, something to remember really.
Yeah, also with COVID and almost the year you weren't allowed or couldn't travel that much, and
Yeah,
then we didn't know if everyone first has time, and then second we were allowed to do it, and then somehow we made it, and yeah, it just felt so refreshing and so good to seeing everyone, and yeah, as you mentioned, of course, one of the highlights of this year for sure.
yeah, indeed. Yeah, I hope we can do it again next year to, yeah, some location. The location doesn't really matter, I think. Although
Yeah,
Lisbon was surely very pretty, yeah.
it was really nice and amazing weather.
Yeah, indeed. It doesn't show on the picture, but it was pretty hot. Yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah,
really was. I
yeah.
was searching quite a long time to find one where every one of us is on the picture, but I think we don't have too many where everyone is on the picture.
No, indeed. Yeah, it's always
But
somebody taking the
yeah,
picture, right?
somebody has to do the picture, right?
Yeah, indeed. I also have a lot of photos of us on a boat, but also I have a picture with everybody there on the boat because the boat owners they took a picture of us, if you remember.
Yeah, I think I
Yeah,
remember, but I think it's not. Um,
it's not a
it's
widescreen one.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a
right.
tall one. Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
that's not so good
which
for
is
the
always a
blog
little
post.
bit difficult for blog posts.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, scrolling through your post, it seems like you had like a good year, Christoph.
Yeah, I think it was again. It feels like all the last years have been really exciting. Learning just more and more, trying new things, and trying to push myself and my business and see how it can go. And yeah, I think I have to say it was a quite successful year for me again, and I'm very happy about it. I can do the things that I love to do and still make some money from it, and
Yeah,
I think that's already the best combination. Yeah.
yeah, indeed. Yeah, I feel very lucky in that regard too. Yeah, today we had or yesterday evening, some family came over, and we
Hmm.
had like a breakfast today at I think 9 o'clock. And some people were asking, "Hey, Frank, don't you need to work? Because yeah, you told us yesterday you don't have a holiday." Oh yeah, but well, I start a little bit later because I also work a little bit later, so I can choose a little bit of how I do it. And they were really envious of that.
Yeah.
And that's something that I now see as like, yeah, that's pretty normal. But for most people, yeah, that isn't normal that you
It's
can
not. Yeah.
just pick your hours and yeah, I'll see. I don't have to tell anybody. There's nothing urgent going on, so it's good. And yeah, it's such a luxury if you think about that with our jobs that yeah, we can just work whenever we want. We have to work just as much as other ones, maybe more, maybe less. I don't know. We have to
Hmm.
work in any case. But yeah, the fact that we can just choose our own pace is just so nice. And yeah, you have that too as an independent developer.
Yeah, I think we are very lucky, and of course we have our issues. Of course, it has downsides. Of course, yeah, there are up and downs with every business and every job, and yeah. But overall, I think we're very lucky, and I really enjoy being so independent. And now, especially in the last years, my wife also has been more at home, and it was also nice that we both could work from home, and yeah, also have then more time together during the day.
Yeah, yeah. That's indeed also a very yeah advantage that you can just see each other a little bit more. Yeah, in the holidays, yeah, I also get to see my children during the day, which is also not um, yeah, not everybody has that. Now,
Yeah,
I should say sometimes that's good, and sometimes it's
not everybody wants that too.
yeah, sometimes it's a little bit too much, but in general, it's okay. Yeah, yeah. Normally, you would have heard them because yeah, I said we have some family over, so there are some nephews and some nieces here.
Mhm.
But yeah, I was a little bit lucky, I guess, because they all decided to go to a museum now, so it's really quiet in
Mm.
the house now for a couple of hours. So I
Yeah.
was heading downstairs and saying like, "Hey, there's a stream starting. You don't have to be quiet, but just don't shout or do things with doors or something or hit each other. Just stay alive." But yeah, they're all gone. So this is like a nice hour of
All
peace
by
and
yourself.
peace and quiet here, which doesn't happen too often, I should say.
Yeah, you have to use it.
Let me.
Do we have any questions in the meantime?
Yeah, I
Let
was
me.
I was also trying to segue to that. I don't think there are too many questions. So if there are people here that want to say something about their year, or a question for us, just let us know we're watching. There's one
Would
here.
you? Yeah,
It's difficult to leave an environment that is more and more part of our lives. Got a car, has a lot of tech, go to the movies, it's at a big screen too. Ah, yeah, that's about
yeah,
us sitting behind computers that much. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, you're always like interacting with some piece of technology, even if you're not behind the computer. There's your phone. In some cars, there's also
hmm,
some device there. Yeah, indeed.
it's not easy to get away from all the screens.
No, indeed. I think you should be a little bit mindful of that and just do some off time too. Yeah, some thing that I often do, and I guess you too, Christoph, is after a couple of hours, I just take a walk outside. Just
Yeah,
going to nowhere in particular, but just to keep your head a little bit fresh.
yeah. A funny story. Last weekend, I think it was last weekend. Yeah, the weekend before Christmas, my wife and me we went on a short holiday trip, 2 days. Um, and there was one day where I said to myself, okay, today we were going out for having breakfast. I left my phone at home.
Yeah.
So I went down. I thought, oh, it is back up there in the room. But I said, no, I'm leaving it there. I don't need it. I want to get away a little bit. No
Yeah.
worries. And then we had some issues finding a place which is opened. And then we had to get back, use the car, drive to a different place. And then we finally found something where we could have breakfast. And then it was like, oh my God, I don't have my uh, vaccination certificate now with me.
Ah, yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God. So the first time I want to get rid of my phone. And no, I can't because I need it for my certificate. And the
Ah,
funny thing is on my phone, I have both our certificates. So for my wife too, but I didn't send her mine. So that's why she didn't have mine. And then we just had to
you had to go
take it
home.
back home, the breakfast. Yeah, we
Ah,
took it then
yeah.
away and ate it home. But yeah, it's first time I want to get rid of it. And no, I'm
That
not allowed to, it seems. Yeah.
That's too bad. Yeah, that
Mhm.
you didn't think of it. Yeah, in normal times, I also do that when going out. Like, just sometimes leave just the phone at home. I don't need it. I When you go to like a restaurant or a bar, then
Yeah.
you're just not thinking of it because you don't have it with you. I don't do that all the times, but I have done that. But indeed, in these times, you can't because you need to show that certificate.
It's also funny, I think, yeah, like 10, 15 years ago when you went on holidays and you were maybe away 1 or 2 weeks and you had like no idea what was going home back at home. You just came home and you're like, okay, what's going on? And oh, this, no, he did this and he did that. And all your friends are telling you what happened in this 1 or 2 weeks. And in the holidays, probably this was a lot of things happening. But yeah, nowadays we see it every day when we use our phones still on holidays. So I I really like sometimes if we're at the place where we don't have any internet or
Mhm.
yeah, just can get away for a few days. It doesn't happen too often, but I really want to try to enforce this a little bit more to, or even put the phone away for some hours and don't take a
Mhm.
look. And
Yeah, something it's something really small, but and I didn't do it like with a plan or something. But I noticed that often when I go, or wait, I'm going to start this differently. I charge my phone next to the bed, like a lot of people, I guess. And I noticed that in the mornings I don't take the phone with me. So when we have breakfast, I just don't have my phone with me at all. And I now seem to do that always. And that's also very nice to just
mhm.
not think about the phone and not immediately start checking things. I still remember a time, I'm now rid of that habit, where the first thing I did was just checking things on my phone when I woke up. And
Yeah,
it's just so silly to do, really, because there's nothing really urgent going on when you wake up. What are you going to do? Skip your shower or skip breakfast just to go immediately to the computer? you're not going to do that, so you don't have to
No.
check your phone at all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's
little
all
things.
something that we should be aware of in the next year as well.
Hmm.
Try to get some time away from all the screens.
Hmm. Indeed. Hey, Christophe, there have been some questions
Yeah,
since we've
let's take a look.
invited some people. Let's do them all one by one. How was this year maintaining open source packages?
So I think I will start because this will be a lot easier for me. But I think probably the question is more for you. So I don't have many packages that I have to maintain. There's one for new Livewire assertion, which I use, very small one, not so much to maintain. There is the Twitter Laravel package, which is also not much to do. It's been working quite good for some years, so not much to do. And yeah, the only open source project which I have is basically Lara Streamers, which is quite a lot of work, but I use it for my streams, and so this is quite some fun. And I think I'm getting sometimes a little bit seeing what it must be for you if there are a lot of issues and pull requests open, and you have to think of how to deal with those because yeah, we all know it's not easy sometimes, but yeah, for me it's not that much.
So
How
yeah,
is it for you?
yeah, it seems like you're in a good place, Christoph, where you don't have a lot of maintenance and the
Yeah,
stuff does what it needs to do. And yeah, Lara Streamers is a project where you want to push it a little bit. We can head
yeah,
into that a little bit later because that's also an interesting subject. Yeah, for me and my colleagues at Spasi, we obviously have a lot of packages, but I think that maintenance is pretty good these days, or the time we have to spend on maintenance. Yeah, the most of the packages are already a couple of years old, and they do the stuff they need to do, and they do it very well because they've already received quite some issues which we fixed and quite some PRs which we fixed. With the new stuff, not too many issues are coming in because something that we've learned is to keep these packages small and only for like our use cases. Don't try to
yeah,
do too much, just only do the thing that you needed to do and do that very well. And yeah, I'm a little bit glad that we don't get too much issues on those as well. Um, Now sometimes people think that I'm like the only one handling these issues in PRs, but I'm not. It's like 8 people that are handling this, and with 8, if everybody does a little bit, then you can
hmm,
get a lot of things done. I think the only time where we have like a lot of work is when like a new PHP version comes out or a new Laravel version comes out. Then we make like a big Excel with like, hey, these are the packages that we need to handle, and we try to we try to give everybody a little bit of the work. We plan a couple of days for that, and then it's also good. So I think it's really streamlined at this point. Personally, I'm also really good nowadays at just declining PRs without feeling too
yeah,
bad. I know that Adam tweeted a little bit about this, but I think I developed a really thick skin now. Like, yeah, I know this functionality that you're PRing is working, but I don't need it. I don't want to maintain it
yeah,
because, yeah, there are not too many people that when a PR gets merged in, that they're going to maintain it anymore.
yeah,
So for me, it's just a question of, do I want to maintain it? And if I don't want to do it, then I just say no, even though it could make sense to have it in the package. Then I say, yeah, just fork it and just do it on your own.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And with issues, just the same. Like, okay, it's maybe a bug, but I don't hit this bug in my project. So if you want to have it fixed, you go fix it. If it's something, yeah, where time needs to be spent on. And I think if you handle open source in that way, like it works for me, and if other people want other things, you go do them or just do it in a separate package, then you can keep it manageable. If you would say to every PR and every issue, yes, we are going to polish this or we're going to fix this, yeah, that wouldn't work. Then we would have a problem. And I did that a little bit in beginning days, but nowadays I don't do
Yeah,
that anymore. That's something that you have to learn, I think.
I think you all have now a lot of experience how to deal with it, and
Yeah.
it seems you're doing it quite well because yeah, it seems like all the packages are up to date and maintained really well, and yeah, a lot of people are still using it. So
Yeah.
it seems you're doing that very well.
Yeah, we only maintain the ones that we need ourselves, or the ones that are very easy to maintain. Then we'll also just do a little fix. But we're also pretty good at, yeah, the things that we don't need. Yeah, those get archived, so we don't have to drag those with us. So yeah, I think it's in general, if you do open source, just only do the things that you really need, and just leave the rest behind. But in the beginning, it's a little bit difficult because, yeah, you want to do good for everybody, and maybe you're thinking about like popularity as a goal, but
Yeah,
popularity shouldn't be a goal in itself, I think.
yeah. Sorry, I wanted to say here something because yeah, I think I think it's a double-edged sword sometimes because I totally get that people, like you said, you just do what you want and you just close everything you don't need for yourself. You're the one maintaining it. You're the one in charge, and the others ones, if they need it, they can do it themselves, and totally fine with this. But sometimes people use the packages and try to promote themselves and try to put the package in your face. Hey, everybody, you need to use this. This is so cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think with that, you also have a little bit of responsibility sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I think it depends maybe a little bit on the situation, but I've also seen like the other side where first people want to use the package for them to promote themselves, the company, and that's totally fine. But then the first thing that the community need, you're saying, no, it's only for me and I just do what I want. I think
Yeah.
sometimes it can be also a little bit difficult, depending on the situation.
Yeah, I'm making it sound like it's a very black and white situation, but there is indeed a lot of gray as well. Um, yeah, that's right. And certainly in the beginning, you need to find a little bit your way around this. You also don't want to be a dick and just not do something easy that would help like a lot of people that use your packages. If you have like 20 issues about the same thing, yeah, maybe you should give
Maybe
it
it's a thing.
give it a thought. Yeah, but yeah, how much is too much? Like, is it one issue? Is it five? Is it 20?
Yeah, there's no
20
way to
issues?
tell that.
There's no way to tell. There's just a case by case basis, I guess.
But yeah, I think it's open source in general is a difficult topic and so many different scenarios and cases, and it's like you said, it's not black and white.
I think at our company we don't have like any written rules like what should be handled and what not, and what the amount of days is in which you need to respond. It's all a little bit organic and a little bit based on feeling, and I
Yeah.
really like it that way. Just, yeah, go a little bit with common sense and what you want to do. I don't want to institutionalize how we handle things. I think it's fine this way, I think. Okay, let's move on to a next question.
Yeah.
Um, quick question for both of you. How do you organize to be much productive? To be, yeah, productive, I guess. Yeah. That's a very broad question.
Yeah, it's also a
I'd say,
difficult
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure it out myself.
It's it's
I
it's
think,
it's also a little bit, yeah, this question is also a little bit about the same. How do you set boundaries between time,
yeah.
work, and family? Are there strict rules on how you do things?
So for me, since my wife is working like a 9 to 5 job, maybe a little bit more than that, but she has the time where she has to work. So mostly the same time I try to work as well. because then it's most easy for us that we work at the same time and we can spend more time than together before that and after that. But still, I'm much more independent, so it's still a little bit different for me. And sometimes I do a little bit less, sometimes I do a little bit more, just how it fits. And regarding productivity, for me it's always important to have a little bit of a plan. What do I want to do? What do I want to achieve this year? Is it about maybe a money goal that I have set for myself, or is it about some of the resolutions I wrote in my blog post, or how do I want to grow myself as a developer or the business? So for me, I always have to have some kind of goals and also some specific tasks that I want to do. So, for example, this year I wanted to try streaming, and then I tried every week to do at least one stream. I think I almost finished this, and this worked out quite well. But then there are other things where, for example, with mastering PHP Storm, I tried every Monday to tweet a tip about PHP Storm. I think I did this for maybe 4 months, something like that, and then I got a little bit off track, or I didn't find some good tips anymore, and then I didn't do it anymore. So for me, it's trying to having some goals, some activities, try to do them, do the things that I like, because then the more I like stuff, the better, the more time I can spend of them, because I will enjoy it much more. And yeah, but as always, it's not like there's the one good way to deal with that, and I think everybody also will do this differently.
Hmm. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, setting goals is I think important. Um, I think for me there are like two kinds of goals, and they're a little bit ingrained on in yeah how we handle stuff at Spatie. So we have like the long term goals, like this is what we want to achieve in a couple of months or during the year. We want to ship an update of this product, or we want to create this course, and there's something set in the future, a couple of months away, something like that. Something, yeah, we are going to work towards this. And then for every week, we make like a planning. What are we going to do this week? And that's a more concrete planning. Like, this is how much time we are going to spend on that this week. This is how much time we are going to spend on this week. And yeah, we don't like plan days or something. It's just this needs to be done somewhere this week, and just figure out when it works best for you.
Mhm.
And that works pretty well for me as well. Like in a week, I know I got a couple of days for this, I got a couple of days for that, keeping in mind like the goals that are coming. And of course, when we plan the weekly goals, we also keep like our long-term things in mind as well. And for yeah, keeping work and family a little bit out of the way, yeah, we have like this advantage, like we talked about, where we can just decide when we work. But yeah, like you, Christoph, I also mostly work when my girlfriend's work, because yeah, that's
Mhm.
like the time where you can just do it. I also sometimes work a little bit in the evening. That's more on open sourcey kind of stuff, when I think it's a little bit fun to do it. I try to be mindful not to do too much um, in the evening time when the kids are still awake. Then I want
Mhm.
to spend a little bit of time with them as well. And yeah, it's a little bit of a balance game, because yeah, if I'm honest, I there are so much things that interest me in programming that I could just do every evening. But yeah, I don't want that for myself, and I also don't want that for the people around me.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of a balance you need to bring there.
Yeah, I think so too. So balance and trying the things that work for you, and if
Hmm.
it don't work for you, try something different. So I also don't think there's like a golden rule that works for everybody.
Yeah, I think it's yeah something messy that you need to yeah figure out for yourself a little bit. Yeah, right now it also changes a little bit, because right now I'm a little
Hmm.
bit more interested in creating some music again. So I do that sometimes in the evening as well, where like maybe in the previous year I would have programmed a little bit, but I think I struggled a little bit with like, am I still programming enough? Like, am I doing enough? But
Hmm.
I think in the course of the year, I've just left that feeling behind. And no, I if I just do my job, that's also good. And if I do a little bit on the side, that's enough. But it doesn't have to be like full speed ahead all the time. I think there was a time where I like made a package like once a week or maybe
Hmm.
every 2 weeks, and now I think like once every 3 weeks or every month is also good, and even less is
Yeah.
also good. You don't have to push yourself too much. Now, at the time where I was doing that, I didn't felt like it was pushing, but right now I think like I have a little bit of another balance, and I don't feel guilty about it anymore.
Yeah. I also think this changes with, um, I wouldn't say the older you get, but with specific phases of your life. Sometimes you have some phases where you really want to push it to the limits, try to do everything you can and use the time. Maybe you don't have kids or something like that. And I think this also changes a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. It's an important facet that you're saying. Yeah, like if you have kids and also how old they are, it really
Yeah.
messes up
Indeed.
with the time you have and the pace you can work on. Um, when our kids were a lot younger, when they were like one or like 0 and 2, um, at in that time it's really difficult to do things outside of the house because yeah, they're not sleeping well enough,
Hmm.
and um, they're awake at irregular hours. But for me personally, that made me very productive because you can't really meet too much with people because um, you're needed you're needed at home. Your sleep is a little bit off, but I managed to just develop a little bit
Hmm.
in those
To
hours. I was
adapt and use
to
it.
and just use that pace a little more. But now the kids are older, I can just go out of the house and do other stuff as well. So I'm starting to I have started to do that also. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's another phase of life, like you said.
Yeah. True. So, I have around 5 minutes, then I gotta leave today on time.
Okay.
So, should we pick one or two, or maybe we can try to answer them a little bit faster? We are both very long in our replies always.
Yeah, indeed. Okay, let's do like the shortest reply that
Yeah,
we can
let's
can
try
do
this. How
here.
many we get in 5 minutes?
Okay. Um okay, this is already a good one. I'm interested in the transition from client work to self-published projects. Do you have some wisdom on this? Yeah, we've both done this. Okay, Christoph, half a
Yeah.
minute. Let's go.
All right. So I think best is just to go slowly, try it out, maybe go with a little side project next to your regular job. And then if you feel like, okay, you want to improve your game, want to step up, try it for real, then make the transition. Don't push it too fast and go from 0 to 100%. Try to make it a more slower transition. And then it will be easier for you to see if it works and if it fits.
That's a perfect answer, Christoph. I agree. Okay, next
Perfect. Next one.
next one. These aren't questions.
Also,
Did,
by the way, sorry, I have to say this. I have written some articles about that on my blogs, where you can check this out more in detail if you're interested in my personal transition.
okay, that's a good one. Christoph-rumpel.com for that. Okay, do you had the time to participate in the advent of code? I'll quickly take that one. I normally don't. I do think it's kind of cool, but I have so much things that I can work on for like my own stuff, not open source stuff, that I just don't get to these. Now I know that some of my colleagues have done that advent of code in the past, and they really enjoyed it.
I also haven't done it this year. I think it's amazing. I tried it once, I think a few years back, where I just realized it wasn't right for me, especially in the time of December before Christmas. And I tried to do every one of those examples every day, and it was just too much, and I couldn't enjoy it anymore, and that's why I didn't do it. But I think it's very cool, and it's very good if you want to practice your coding skills.
I agree. Let's go. How did you feel when your authentication package got merged with Laravel Core? I don't remember that package anymore, but in general, I think it's pretty cool if Laravel takes on the functionality of one of our packages, because then I don't have to maintain it anymore. So I think it's pretty cool when things like that happen.
Yeah, I think so too, because yeah, it's just good for everybody and less maintaining for you or me or and yeah, overall it's just good.
There's one more question here. Yeah, we already talked about this, but what do you do after work? Any fun hobbies? Is there something I can do that's not gym or hobby projects after work? Yeah, I've already mentioned this many times. I do music as well, and I also bike from time to time. I bike to another city, and those are like my main things, I guess.
Yeah, for me it's also sports, going for a run, going bouldering. But you said it's not gym, a hobby project. Yeah, the last weeks, my wife and me, we are trying to read every day or every second day before we go to sleep. We're both reading currently Harry Potter.
Oh,
I started it because Trees was drilling, you have to read it, you have to read it. And now I started reading it, and my wife is now one book behind, and now we're trying to read them, yeah, kind of next to each other, but some kind also together. So
cool.
also a little hobby that we have right now.
Yeah, I've read them too. They're pretty good. Right now, I'm reading the whole Expanse series, like that science fiction
Hmm.
books. I don't know if you know it.
No.
It's like, yeah, an amazing story. It's also a TV series. I watched that first. It's like 9 books. They're now, I think,
Oh wow.
in the TV series, they're at book number 6, which is the last book they'll film. But there are also books like 7, 8, and 9. And earlier in the year, I thought, yeah, I want to know the full story, so I started reading from book 1, and I'm right now in book 9. So yeah,
No, really?
yeah. So yeah,
When did you start?
I think somewhere May or something like that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so
When do you
I
have time to read, Freek?
yeah, before I go to sleep, I
For go to sleep, okay.
always read a little bit, and I've done that every day, and yeah, that amounts up.
Wow.
So yeah, I didn't have like a reading goal, but I think yeah, I've read when I finish this one, I will have read, yeah, 12 books, which is, I think, pretty good, I
It,
think. Yeah. And they're also very good. So these are really page turners where, oh, come on,
okay, yeah.
one more chapter.
I
Let's
want to know how it ends. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
these are the best ones. Yeah.
Yeah, I think every chapter ends with like a little little exciting note that wants you make to read further. So highly recommended, Christoph. When you finish the Harry Potter series, Expanse may be something for you as well.
Yeah. I got one book for Christmas, which I also wished to get, which is from the Terry Pratchett
Yeah, the Discworld.
series. Yeah,
Yeah,
and I got the first one, and I think there are also like dozens of book in this world. So,
yeah. I think somewhere around 20. I think in the main series or something.
oh my god.
Yeah. So
Okay, so
yeah.
maybe in 10 years I have time for the ones that you just recommended. But I'm a slow reader.
Yeah, but that's okay. I think you should take your time to read,
Yeah.
and yeah, there's so much you can read. So yeah. Okay, Christoph, this is maybe like a good point to end, because yeah, your hour is up, right?
Yes. Right.
If you're going outside somewhere to grab lunch, don't forget to bring your certificate with you. Don't
I'm
forget
going
it.
for a run now, and I hope
Ah,
I
yeah.
don't need it for that.
Okay, I hope so too. Okay, Christoph, it's been good talking with you again. Have a good New Year celebration tomorrow, I guess. Yeah, indeed.
Yes,
Yes.
you too. I hope we can continue
Yeah.
those streams in the next year because I think I really enjoy them.
Yeah.
I hope the others do too. There are still some people watching, so I hope it's interesting to them as well. And yeah, it would be nice to continue this little series.
Yes. Let's do it again next year.
Perfect. Then, with that being said, also from my side, Happy New Year to you, Freak, and everybody watching, and stay healthy. And yeah, see you in the next year, then, I guess.
Yes, indeed. See you, everybody, and until next year. Bye bye.